This is a green fit system in an MT965 Echo. One thing to be aware of is if the machine is in park, you'll have an error 2325. Park or hydraulic lockout, if that's engaged, that will also create the error. If I go to a neutral position, the error should clear. Same thing if I engage hydraulic lockout, the error pops back up. The reason why is the machine cuts communication with the valve, and then the machine will stop transmitting update information to us, so we kick out the error. Regarding tuning settings for the green fit, first and foremost, in the teach-in menu, the biggest setting is offset echo. I tried settings lower than 30, makes it very, very snappy, aggressive, almost too harsh for a center articulated tractor. If I go higher than 30, even up to 40, it overshoots and undershoots. Has a very lazy sway to it. Line acquire is not very good. Default, I believe, was about 110 inches, but again, just like other platforms, it's kind of an arbitrary value, not a measured value. In the Greenstar, I have a measured offset from the front axle back to the receiver of 18 inches. I believe this is the only setting that has influence in the steering in this case. There is no wheelbase measurement. There is a front axle to hitch, but I believe that's only for documentation. Yep, correct, according to the notes below. Height needs to be measured still. The turn radius was measured 18 feet. Turning sensitivity was reduced down to 50 just to make it a little less snappy. You can really feel it inside the cab otherwise. In the Greenstar settings, the main steer sensitivity is dialed down to 75. Anything higher than 100 gets really aggressive, will start swaying, the whole machine will start shaking. 75 feels good, keeps a good deviation number. You could go lower too, it still steers very well. Under the AutoTrac Advanced settings, since we had such a short quote-unquote wheelbase in the green fit, we had to go a little more lazy in the settings. Line sensitivity tracking, 75 seemed to be a good number. I didn't spend a whole lot of time adjusting this value. It was at 100. I dialed it down. It seemed to feel better, so I stuck with a lower value. We also have room to go further down if necessary. Line sensitivity heading, same concept. It's lower, however, it wasn't as negative an impact having it higher as it was on other machines. Again, I didn't minimize it. I gave it some room to be able to be lowered a little bit more based on operator preference. Heading lead was kind of interesting. I tried maximizing the heading lead up to 130. In the case of this machine with this geometry, having a high heading lead was negative. Also having a very low heading lead also had negative effect on the system. So I just left it at the default value of 100. The steering response rate, what I found, I had it up to 100. And as I reduced it, it seemed to feel better. It seemed to be less jerky, especially when you're in a cab like this one. We could probably go down to 50, and it may help even more, but again, I wanted to leave some room for adjustment if necessary for the operator. Acquire sensitivity, I have minimized simply because of the architecture of the machine. If you engage and you are a foot or two off the line, you still will feel it snap pretty aggressively to the line. Everything I can do to settle that down I've done, including lowering this value to the minimum. Curve sensitivity, I haven't done anything too much with curve patterns. However, just to be trending similar to what we've done with some of our straight line adjustments, I kind of picked the middle ground between the top two sliders. Seems to be like that on a lot of other platforms. As far as the Starfire is concerned, currently I have the 4F set to 0. Now this is one adjustment that I may spend some time with. I just found that having anything non-zero seemed to affect the whole system. Not in a good way. I'm assuming we could tune around it, but I left it at 0. And maybe we'll just stick with that for consistency for this platform. The height still has to be measured, by the way. Another thing to note, right now we're at 2 slices. On this machine, if I do go into park or engage the hydraulic lockout, put it in park, give it a couple seconds. it will go to 1 pi. So be aware for the operator as well. If you ever go into park, you'll have to go back into the green star once you're in neutral and reactivate the system. You can use the factory engage button right here to engage the system. Pull in a little bit closer to the line here. The engage button. Steer on in. And now we're traveling just 3. I'll speed her up. So here's 5 mile an hour. I'll just grab this next pass here. Yeah, I'm off left hand steering. But here we go. And again, here we're traveling 5.5. Speed her up a little bit more. Which is 9 mile an hour. So, normal scenario here, kind of square it up, hit the button. There we go. She's on. And we're tracking. And front end going 9 mile an hour. Little, if any, nose wiggle. Very stable.